Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Can I ask a question just to follow up on that?
I'm all ears, bro.
Is it easier to establish these institutions when you have an actual government, or do we expect to establish these institutions by osmosis? You give a bunch of people some money and then organically it just turns into a black institution? Like, which would be a better way to get the institutions that we want? If we were organized or if we were disorganized?
Well, obviously, the answer is organized, but I will say this. I'm not advocating for people to just, or saying people are going to just naturally through osmosis decide to do the right thing and form organizations once they get giant amounts of money. I think that there already are some small budding organizations, not ADOS affiliated right now, that just simply do not have funding. Look at how many Black Lives Matter organizations there were.
And guess where that money went?
Right.
Nowhere.
But this just proves my point.
Hold on, I say this real quick and I'll let you go. These people, once they started getting money from white people, those white people could dictate what they wanted to hear. When we get this in policy, and they have, like, all we want to do, man, is be protected on Native American level. If we can get that, we're straight.
That's the end game?
Yeah, I was about to say, damn, they getting beat up.
All we're trying to do, and I'm not talking about reservations. I'm talking about like, I don't know what you guys do in your own personal lives, but for me, I do a lot of work with government contracts. Now, under government contract, if I'm a woman, I get special ranking to where they have money set aside if I'm a woman-owned business. If
women.
I am Native American, special money. But if I'm Black, it just goes under the pool of minority. I got to fight with everybody else. We want a Black category. That's it. We want certain money set aside for education for Black people at the HBCUs all the way on down. Why do Black people pay to go to HBCUs? It's simple stuff like that. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is this. A lot of this is going to end up being a net benefit to Pan-Africans. It's going to be a net benefit because, Holip, you're going to have a lot of Black people who are going to come to the natural conclusion of nationhood once they got this money. And you got a lot of broke white people looking around at all these new Black people with money. It's not going to just be, this is how I see it going down.
How much money do you think each individual Black person is going to get? And why do you even think that that's the way that reparations should be doled out?
Okay, again, I do not think that a check is going to be the only form. I do not think they're going to add up, $14 trillion and divide by 48 million. That's not what's going to happen. But just for shits and giggles, let's say the actual cash amount after education, after your taxes are removed, after the other things I'd like to see be a part of this package, I wouldn't really need to see much more than $300K liquid in my personal account. Now you're talking about, let's say the base was $300K liquid. And again, this is just me here talking. This is not King Adolf talking. This is me talking. 300 liquid between the average African-American citizen, plus education, plus no tax, plus the home buying voucher that your grandfather didn't get after the war. I also would need something because this is also something that I'm having a problem with that I can't figure out a way around. Black folks, even when you do have the money to buy a house and you buy it in a black neighborhood, your home value isn't worth as much.
The system's rigged. I did a whole video on that. It's rigged.
So we're not advocating for a check. All of us know if we got a check tomorrow, they just raise the price on everything the next day. So we're not just saying we need to get a check.
I want to ask you something because and I'm not being sarcastic. I swear to you, I'm not being sarcastic.
I'm listening, bro.
But I always, when I'm by myself, I sit back and I always ask myself, am I crazy? And I'm going to ask you why. What government do you white folks have here in the United States? It's called the United States government. It ain't a bunch of scattered organizations here and there. They have a government that works in their interest.
Facts.
True.
When are we going to get it through our thick fucking skulls that we need our own government? We need our own land. We need to control our infrastructure. We need to have complete, total social, economic, and political control of our environment. That's the answer. Not sitting up here playing these games with white people. I mean, that should be the end game. Why in the fuck would that not be the end game? It makes no sense to me. We're going to sit here. So the end game in America is for us to have the same status as Native American. So we're going to sit up here and be still under the socioeconomic and political domination of white folks.
No, there's like Native Americans.
That's the end game.
Native Americans would be a problem, man. That would be a problem.
Would you say?
But do y'all feel what I'm saying? Why is it that we so fearful of pulling the trigger on having our own shit?
Because
that's just some fucking fairy dust and fucking unicorns.
I would say every leader that actually did that was killed and assassinated, right? And then majority of the information, their ideologies, their methodologies, those things are not provided to majority of Black people. So Marcus Garvey, you talk about the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Bobby E. Wright. These people are not known of to the majority of Black people, who is small space of, small understanding of Martin Luther King. I had a dream, integration, but his nationalism is not something that's provided. So I think, like you said, it's not so much about it's partly being scared. And it's not even something that somebody understands that they need to do. They really bite into like the Constitution, or like he said earlier, the system's rigged. The system's not rigged. The system's operating.
It's operating exactly the way that it's supposed to
be, because that's what it was built for. You were built here to build this place and work for this and get raped and all these different types of things. So nothing's rigged, nothing's broken, everything's quite fixed. But in our minds, we think it's broken and it's rigged and it's duped and it's not righteous. No, it's completely righteous for the purpose in which they built it for. Anything outside of that, moral, ethical, it's irrelevant.
Thank you. Amos Wilson.
I'm sorry.
Let me just make this one statement. Amos Wilson said this before an election, and it literally changed my life when I heard him say this, because I never heard anybody just put it this plainly.
Yeah.
He asked, what were African Americans or Africans brought over to America for? Labor. Free labor, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What is the main source of income for African Americans here in America? Labor. So what's the fundamental change that happened between us coming over here to slavery and what we doing right now?
They don't need that labor. We got
if anything, it's getting worse. Like you're right. They don't need the labor because now they have other people to supply it. But that actually strengthens my point.
The constant remains. That's what Dr. Amos Wilson said. The European constant remains. No matter how much it changed, the terminology or whatever, it's the same constant in service of European domination and European power. So, yeah, like that's what Dr. Amos Wilson was getting at. It just remains the same. It's just kind of different.
And I hate to be redundant, but every team that's in the NFL wants to win the Super Bowl. And I look at this, all these countries and all of these governments and stuff, everybody's trying to win the Super Bowl. We don't even not only do we not want to win the Super Bowl, we think it's illegal to get uniforms and coaches. We don't want coaches. We don't want uniforms. We don't want training. We don't want
cleats.
None of that. What we want to do, we want to play the New England Patriots with street clothes on. and dress shoes.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of funny.
And we want to go out. We want to
Yeah,
go
that's
out.
funny.
We want to go out on the field and then say, you know what? All it takes is for every person to just use, their personal passion. You know what happened? All of y'all motherfuckers and your personal passion gonna get stomped right into the fucking field because you don't have an organization.
Oh, you can't even.
You have to organize. I don't understand why this is so fucking. I've been saying this shit for 10 years on YouTube, and I'm still getting pushback on it. We have to organize.
You can't compare to the status right here. Legendary worldwide, we can battle right here. Listen, Junior, I'ma tear back your wig. This ain't TV, but I'll show you what a fear factor is. Stop grilling me, and all that fronting is killing me. You leave me no choice but to hurt your feelings, G. About to slap rappers around and bruise the game. What?